welcome back to our Ellipse Unsealed podcast. We're not talking about Summit anymore, but we're moving on to something new, which is our Dynamics 365 Tech Connect conference on November 15th and 16th in Dayton, Ohio. Today, we have here with us Ellipse Solutions owner, Mikhail Reutman. Hi, Mikhail. Welcome to the pod.
Howdy. Welcome, everyone.
I'm excited to learn more about the history. I mean, I kind of know it. I've been telling a story. I'm hoping it's a true story. When people ask me about the origin, so we're here to set the record straight for sure. We're excited. This is the next big event. I mean, we just got through Summit, and we just put a podcast out about our experience there. But we're excited to kind of jump right into our own event, which is, like Savannah said, Dynamics 365 Tech Connect. In Dayton, which is a technically focused conference. So yeah, Mikhail, why don't you tell us, we didn't let you jump right in and tell us about kind of how it came about and why we do this.
All right, so Tech Connect was born out of necessity. The world of consulting, our team is spread out, different countries, different states. We rarely get together. So this was an opportunity to learn and stay on top of technology. So many years ago, 10 plus years ago, we came up with this concept where each technical architect would get a topic of research, typically something on the edge of technological advancement, kind of on the foresight of Microsoft innovation. They would spend time researching it, applying it in some projects, and then we would get together and share it with each other and kind of share the goods and knowledge so everyone is up to date. This went on for a number of years. We started flying people from different offices. We have offices in Europe, Mexico, Moldova, Romania. So they all kind of would come together in beautiful Dayton, Ohio, and discuss and connect on technological topics. At some point, Microsoft killed, there used to be a conference in February in Seattle every year called Microsoft Technical Conference, which was the highlight of the year for all the folks in development, infrastructure, administration, again, more of a technology-driven topics. So that kind of put us to the next step where we need to open this up and not just make this an internal event, but external with potential customers, prospects, Microsoft ISVs. So that developed, and this now for several years, it became more of an external event. Now we have invited Microsoft to speak. We have sponsors from ISV world who present their products or innovation within their product. And it became this 2-day technological gathering, get together.
Yeah, experience. I call it an experience because it's more than just an event. We got a lot going on. Like you said, ISVs, Microsoft, our own internal people are still doing exactly the same thing. We've just created more structure around it. It sounds like. So I am telling the right story, by the way. That's the story I've been telling. So maybe not quite in that order, but that's the story.
Unfortunately, because it seems like there should be more technology-driven events within the Dynamics channel. Really, it's not. Since Convergence went away 6-7 years ago, the Summit is very important user community-driven event. It definitely has a lot of technology-based topics. But there's not like a singular event which is Dynamics 365 centric and focuses on technology.
So like you said, Summit's a tough one because I've worked on programming it for the sessions, and it's tough to program real technical sessions in there because it is user-based, and a lot of times, to try to keep the right level, it's hard to attract that development talent into those sessions because either it's going to be too light or too basic, or it's going to be too advanced and you don't get enough of it. I was a developer for 15 years in X++ and loved the Microsoft event and attended it every year. I mean, it was, you're sitting at the feet of the people who were programming day to day at, back at the home base. Peter Volodson was an architect who wrote X++, who was there teaching classes. So it was pretty exciting. And it's nice that we at Ellipse have been able to carry this forward into an event to support the technical folks. So yeah, I appreciate that. Again, that official history note, because I wanted to make sure I was telling the right story.
Since I'm into trivia, the original name was AIM, Architecture Innovation Meet, and our marketing department really hated it. So here we go. Tech Connect it is.
I love it. It just says it right there. There's no question about what's happening. I think it's it's fun. The acronyms are always fun. But good to get it right out there too.
So you mentioned highlight the audience, if that would help. So the audience, again, anyone from CIOs to developers, cloud architects, infrastructure and system administration. Those are primary targets for this presentations.
What kind of sessions? I mean, we talk about, what drives the session choices. Is it forward thinking? Is it in the moment? How do we come about, picking or from past to present, how do we come about picking the session topics?
Actually, that's a great question. So the balance is in about half and half. Some sessions come from, okay, this is a newer technology, and now we had a chance to apply it at some customer projects or multiple customer projects and sharing the experience, this how it works, and this is how it was received. In other sessions, it's so new, technology is just maybe in preview or just came out 4 weeks ago, so has not been yet quite tested, but yet that's an opportunity to play with it and experience it. From the topics perspective, this year and last couple of years, all Dynamics centric, but some go very deep into Azure and cloud technologies and services. Some go into more functional areas like AI, predictive analytics. So how you kind of blend the functional expectations and what technology has to offer.
Yeah, Savannah, how many sessions? I know we've got like 1,000 sessions, but how many, do we really have? I think it was 2 days, or it's full on both days.
Yeah, I think I'd have to go back and count, but I think it's around 10 or 11, maybe.
That sounds right. Yeah, I think 10 or 11 with breaks, and then we've got a charity component we'll talk about in a little bit. But yeah, I think you're right, about 10 or 11 split between the 2 days, and that includes, like you said, that's not only access to the experts, the developers, the technical folks. That's 3 Microsoft sessions. So yeah. So that's a lot. And then we've got, 5 ISVs with their experts on staff too. So there's a lot of just, overall, Dynamics ecosystem experts in the room for those 2 days. So it's not just about the sessions. It's the inner networking after you've, had a chance to see and hear some really cool stuff, to be able to talk with those folks afterwards, during lunch or during breaks, or during maybe, the later on happy hours and networking events that we've got set up.
So logistically, these are deeper sessions. So deeper than you typically would see at a webinar or like a summit presentation. And generally, kind of from the audience perspective, you have a chance to then connect and network with those who present. And it, again, logistically, it's one big room, all one single track. Everybody gets to attend all sessions.
Yeah, a lot of good, like I said, interaction in there, and it's fun when you give a session. I always love this. You give a session. I think going forward, I'm never going to leave room for questions at the end. I'm just going to end the session and let people line up, because what happens is you end your session early and you say, hey, anybody have any questions? And the room's full of crickets. And you're like, thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you later. And then a whole line lines up in front of the podium. Is like, hey, I have a quick question for you. Because people are afraid. So So it's good that it's this 2-day event where people can really interact afterwards, where it's more personal. So I love that about these kind of events, especially these smaller ones. Mm-hmm. You said it's in Dayton, Ohio. You know a little bit about Dayton. You're like the king of Dayton. You own a Dayton Twitter account still. Is it Threads now, or you've moved on? Like, how's tell us a little bit about what do we do in Dayton outside of if we've got extra time, what do we do in Dayton?
As I always said, based on my heavy Southern Ohio accent, you guys can guess that I was born in Dayton. I was not, but I grew up in Dayton. It is a very special place for me. It's a representation of sort of technology innovation in a simple, down-to-earth suburban community. Dayton led for many, many years, led the United States, and was top 5 in the world, something like 75 out of the last 100 years, was the highest percentage of patents per capita in the world.
Wow.
Top 5 in the world, 75 in the last 100 years. A lot
Bing,
of it,
that's fact number one.
yep. So a lot of it had to do with late in the 19th century. It was one of the first engineers clubs was created in Dayton. So it kind of collected a lot of sort of engineering minds from Midwest and even East would kind of congregate here because this was a place to discuss innovations. And so a lot of this innovations came early 20th century through maybe kind of mid 20th century. Obviously, everybody knows of Wright brothers and airplane, and I know North Carolina still tries to claim the flight. And yes, they gave us wind. We gave them plane. It flew.
You gave them the brothers in the plane. They
Exactly.
gave you the wind.
They provided
I get it.
So there are a lot of small and large innovations came from Dayton. As you said, I used to personally maintain the Dayton Innovations, Dayton Inventions hashtag on Twitter for years. Just kind of a fun fact, but it intrigued me to find this. No matter where I looked, oh my God, it came from Dayton, and so that was the initial. And some innovations are big and important, and everybody knows about it. Other things are kind of much smaller. Dayton practically invented the concept of city manager. So early in 1912, I believe, it was at that point this was more of an elected position. So they had a major flood, and they realized this has to be a professional. You got to have somebody who knows city planning and kind of a structure and logistics, and it became more of a professional position. And then the rest of the world kind of followed. There were a few smaller towns which actually had it before Dayton. Only kind of after Dayton did it, it became a known practice. There are a lot of sort of unexpected things which came from Dayton. There's the fellow named Charles F. Kettering, who I believe still top 10 in number of patents, even though he has been not alive for many, many years. But he had, his hands in anything from first drone. There's something called Kettering Bug in 1918 to incubators for premature babies and things like that. Like all of this kind of things came crazy. NCR in Dayton invented the first laptop computer, like what they call computer in a briefcase. So
it's fun to have, it's kind of it's a small town for the likes of that. It's not a big municipality to have this kind of stuff. I'm going to throw out two fun facts that I learned, or maybe, became aware of after I was Dayton aware. Number one, we learned that Bruce Banner, the fictional Incredible Hulk, is from Dayton, Ohio.
Yep.
Yeah, we learned that 2 years ago in doing some marketing research. Found out that. And then two, I watched the Star Wars Christmas special, the 1977 Christmas special every year. It's only available on YouTube. And it was recorded by somebody at, on their, home VCR or whatever, but it was recorded from the local Dayton, like ABC affiliate or CBS affiliate. So every time I watch it, it has a station break for Dayton, Ohio, which is fun to see. So those are my two, weird pseudo fun Dayton facts.
Negative innovations too. The first speeding ticket was given in Dayton, Ohio, and since I had a few, like, why did they have to invent that? No,
so
it was 1906 or something like that. Long time ago.
Oh, okay.
It was like 12 miles an hour.
Man, you're not from Dayton, but you live close by.
It's greater Dayton.
Any Dayton?
I didn't come prepared with any like fun facts or anything. I'm not a big like history girl, but yeah, I grew up about an hour north of Dayton. So, I grew up going to the Dayton Dragon baseball games. My dad would always get tickets from his work. So that was always something fun that us kids would do together.
Yeah.
And then, being from a small town, it was always like a treat to go to like the Dayton Mall because it was like the biggest one in the closest proximity or whatever.
Go from a small town to a slightly bigger town. It's
right. Yes. Yeah. They had Hollister. They had all the good stuff growing up. So yeah. I didn't fun facts, but that was always fun to go to for.
I mentioned the charity component. We wanted to talk about that briefly because it's not just, we have great sessions, but we like to give back. I mean, it's so nice to see that in an organization looking for ways to give back. And so we do build in a charity component to our event, which is great. You want to talk a bit about that, Savannah?
Yeah, it's been a fun thing to plan and do. Last year it's my first Tech Connect, and so this is my second year, obviously. But yeah, last year we did a bikes, trikes, and wagons event, where it's kind of like a little obstacle course challenge to whoever could get their bikes, trikes, and wagons built the quickest. So yeah, it was just a fun competition for everyone, but it's also fun to be able to donate to a local charity as well. Especially so close to Thanksgiving and everything. It really gets you into like the giving, the giving season. So I really enjoyed it, and I'm excited for what we have planned this year too, with a little twist to it. So
yep, and we've been working with Flock, which is a local Dayton charity. And Mikhail, maybe you can just talk a little bit about why we do it as well.
We always had a charity component in this event. Different years we partnered with different organizations to kind of put it together. Probably some of the favorites. Dayton unfortunately had a significant tornado a few years ago. So one year the whole team, and actually at that point all employees of Ellipse joined in, and we spent a day building a home with Habitat for Humanity. I can tell you, when the home was presented to the eventual owner, who was a single mom who lost her house in the tornado, at least half of us who attended were crying. So it was just very, you feel influential. You feel like you can help some folks.
I mean, that's amazing when we can make that kind of impact with little effort between all of us. But I mean, like you said, getting choked up just thinking about the immense impact on this single mother, who lost their home, and you were able to, give them that
to be clear,
back.
We didn't build the entire house, and
but again, it's coming together as a community to do this.
Yeah. So last year, what I guess Savannah mentioned, all of those bikes and tricycles, everything kind of we built went to the kids. Specifically, this organization tries to take care of the kids who are more sort of teenage years. It seems like there's a little bit more effort of giving and helping to younger kids, and this organization focuses on those who are kind of past that age where they don't get as much attention. So that was kind of an important component. And for me, there are two goals for this. The charity component. One is absolutely the finding a way to help within the community, and second, it has to have a team building component. So I can't think of a better team building exercise than kind of everyone coming together. In this case, like I said, it started with just our folks, but now involves other attendees from the conference, Microsoft, other folks who are coming. That's really tremendous.
And the feedback I hear from the attendees is just off the charts. They love this piece of it, the being able to give back, and they talk a lot about how much they enjoy this part of it. The learning is great, but then to end the event with this kind of positive upswing is just it really is impactful. So I'm glad we do this. It's meaningful to me too. Wanted to touch real quickly. I mean, I think the venue that we've been doing it at, it looks like, as our event grows, we'll maybe outgrow it. But the venue we're at this year and last year is really unique, and I like it. You want to talk a little bit about that, Savannah? It's the downtown Dayton Library.
Right. Yeah. Like Bobby was saying, we love the setup of it. It fits really well with what we're doing. However, our event is growing, so maybe next year we might be at a separate place. But yeah, it's kind of in a location where there's some things around it to give us some options for like our networking party on the first night as well. So yeah, it's been a pretty good fit so far, but going forward in the future, we'll see what it has in store.
Yeah, and the space itself it's like a giant theater. I mean, it was built for just to kind of house these type of events. It's got a theater style seating. Plenty of space for interacting while we're not in class. And the Dayton Library itself it's really nice inside, and the staff is nice. It's just been a really friendly place to hold the event. So yeah, I'm excited we're able to have it back this year and keep it going for at least another, one more year. So,
so to connect it all together.
Yeah.
That first speeding ticket I was talking about, from all I understand, it was given right in front of the library. The library wasn't there yet, but the ticket was there.
But that's where the ticket, there's still a little marker that says
on the third street right there.
Ticket. Yep. Just, it's handwritten. Yeah, you put it there. Cool. Anything else that we're missing about the event, Mikhail, that we want to get off our chest before we wrap it up?
Well, it's specifically for people who attend and who may attend in the future. Any recommendations on the topics, always welcome. We got some feedback last year and kind of trying to incorporate it this year as well. Again, it's technology-based, but with executives in mind. So a lot of it is strategic decisions based on what you can experience, what technology would provide.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I've just enough time to recover from Summit. I'm still, inching my way up from that. My voice will be at full capacity by the time we get to Dayton, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. It's actually 3 weeks from today, which is crazy. So
I know it is. It does seem like it shouldn't be that quick, but here we are.
Yeah, it'll be fun. But yeah, to everyone, thank you again for tuning in. Mikhail, thank you for taking the time to join us and tell us a little about the history of the event, history of Dayton. You're just a big history guy, I guess, huh?
Thank you.
And we know this. We won't ride with you on the way because unless we want to get there really quickly.
Tickets now.
Yeah. All righty. Thank you guys. Tune in again.
See y'all in Ohio.
Bye.
Take care.